Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm with Anypoint Media, and today I'll be going over addressable TV advertising for OTT linear and linear TV as well. So let me just get started. So right now, you're seeing a recording of what we're doing in South Korea. As you can see, it's 3 screens on the same channel at the same time, but they're all connected to different set-top boxes. Once the ad break starts, you'll be able to see that there was no delay, no black screen, no buffering whatsoever, and they're all playing different targeted ads. So the targeting is based on audience targeting, geo-targeting, or whatever sort of audience cohort that you set for each campaign. And as you can see, the ad break started, different ads have started playing, and it's continuing to play. And I've been talking for some time, and the ad break is still going on. So the key thing here is that this is linear TV, so the ad breaks are not short. Normally for VOD pre-rolls, you maybe see like a 30-second ad break, maybe with 2 15-second ads. If there's no ad that comes in, then you can just immediately start the content. But for linear TV, still, the ad break is continuing, and we still need to be able to play ads. So this one, I think, is a 2-minute ad break, so we're filling 120 seconds. But in extreme scenarios, we've actually seen 12-minute ad breaks that we need to populate. And I'll actually go over how we do that, because it might not really make sense to you right now. How do you make an ad break that's 12 minutes? How do you fill that within a few seconds of time? So I think the ad break should be ending sometime soon. And once that's over, I'll go over to the next slides to explain further. Again, it is a long ad break, and that's the thing about linear TV ad breaks again, because it's a long ad break for a fixed amount of time that you need to fill in, and yeah, that's what we're doing here. Yeah, so now it's ending, and once it's over, we're going to return back to the original channel stream, all at the same time. So they're all in sync because this is a IPTV multicast. So some of the key components of our platform Flower is that we have the backend on AWS. We have our ad decisioning system that does everything from the linear ad podding, the programmatic integration, the unified and multi-win auctions, and the pre-decisioning and pre-fetching of ads. We have our campaign manager, inventory manager, analytics system, conversion manager, and on the SDK, the client side, we have a SDK for pay TV. So that would be our client-side ad insertion SDK. That's the video you just saw previously. And we also have an SDK for OTT and FAST, which is our client-side playlist manipulation. So normally you would think of SSAI, which is server-side ad insertion. But for us, we actually do a client-side playlist manipulation where we manipulate the playlist for the ads on the client side itself instead of doing it on the server side. So I won't go into too much detail here, but some of the key features is that we do client-side ad stitching, so it's frame accurate and seamless. And again, because it's on the client side, we can actually do accurate reporting based on the impressions, the complete views, and whatever actions that follow. We do what we call a incremental linear ad podding. Using VAST wrappers, we can also incorporate skippable ads and, again, cover longer ad breaks. And I'll go over why we call it incremental linear ad podding in a later slide. And we do the mediation as well, where we can do direct campaigns. We also have Google integration done with Google IMA SDK, so we can actually pull in ads from Google as well. And we have our own SSP, which is directly integrated into DSPs like TTD and Xandr. And also, we can actually work as a header bidder where we integrate into other SSPs as well. We have, again, our campaign manager, where we set our campaigns and do the creative review for the creatives that come in for the advertising on linear TV, inventory manager, and our conversion manager as well. So again, before I go into this slide, let me just cover this first. So the linear ad potting, you'll see here on the top part where it says linear TV and there's 4 seconds left. So this is the linear stream. Once that's over, we're going into the ad break and we'll show you where the creatives are coming from. So this is a direct IO. This is a pre-cached, pre-decisioned ad that it was specifically targeted for that set-top box or that client. And while this is playing, we are sending ad requests or bid requests to our programmatic partners in ads. And this, for example, is a Google Open Auction ad that we pulled from Google. Now we're back to another direct IO. So like this, we already have pre-decisioned, pre-cached ads that are set from direct campaigns, and we can use that as basically buffers, where we can continuously send out bid requests and ad requests to get more demand from programmatic partners, and we gradually, incrementally build on that outcome. And now we're back to a Google Programmatic Guarantee deal from DV360, and again, we're back to another direct IO. So we can actually do this back and forth thing because, again, we have our own ad manager where we can create campaigns. So yeah, another Google Open Auction. So you can actually see the time remaining on the bottom corner, like that, where it gives you the time remaining for the ad. And the
NMD V3, create new paths.
To why this ad and show you why you would. That one is campaign from which is another one of the partners. And I think a little bit of time left on this ad break. Again, this was another 2-minute ad break, so the break is extremely long. And the Gangnam Style guy, he's still very famous and very relevant in Korea. So he's in one of the creatives.
건강하게 채우고 건강하게 비우고 채우다 비우다 아몬드 브리즈.
Not all the ads are standard length. So sometimes we're left with maybe 2 to 3 seconds of time at the end of the ad break, which is why we can actually use fillers to make sure there is no blank space appearing on the ad breaks. So going back to the previous slide, that's basically what we mean by incremental ad potting. We cover the entire commercial break by issuing multiple and interspersed ad or bid requests to DSPs and Google Ad Manager for revenue maximization. And that's also bringing in everything from the direct campaigns and the other campaigns as well. Now, to make sure we actually make the most money for our partners, we have what we call a unified and multi-win bidding mediation. So normally when you're in a bidding scenario, what you would think is the highest price wins and you're left with one winner. But we actually can choose based on the length of the ad break or based on some of the criteria that is set by our partners. So we can either set a price floor, so anything higher, let's say, than $10 would all win and they would all play based on the highest price first, or we can actually set so that it's the top 3 prices that win and we play the top 3 prices within the ad break. This is because, again, we're sending out ad requests and bid requests, and if we send out too many of them, then the rating for this publisher, the inventory rating, will drop on the programmatic side. So we don't want that to happen. So we send it out at reasonable amounts to make sure that their inventory rating does not drop. But at the same time, we want to make sure we bring in all the higher priced campaigns. So we actually do this unified and multi-win bidding auction. Now, again, because what we're doing is on the client side, we actually can tell whether the viewer is watching the channel stream or the ads that we're playing. So another thing that we can actually do is cross-screen conversion, meaning that while you're watching content or the ads on the TV, we can actually have like another button that actually leads you to get a message on your mobile phone as well. So to kind of show you what that would actually look like in real life. And we also have a booth within the partner corner where you can actually see this demo for yourself as well. So if you click on your remote, that would push a message to your phone that leads to either a purchase page or it could lead to an app download, depending on whatever the ad was for. So for example, if it was a mobile game, it would lead you to the App Store. But again, if it was, I guess that was an iPhone, then it would lead to the purchase page for that iPhone or something like that. Yeah. And obviously this is, I guess, an easier type of way, but cross-app conversion is also possible. So if you are a OTT app and you want to do advertising of that type of thing, then we can actually deep link the content as well, where you get to either the App Store or to another purchase page. But again, that would look very much like this. So after clicking on that, it would actually lead to the purchase page. Yeah. And we also do cross-screen attribution. So again, if it doesn't necessarily lead to a purchase, so it's not a conversion, we can still track the app downloads for mobile games and also track the mobile usage of these games and gaming apps or whatever other apps that you did advertising for. Thank you. Okay, I think we can do the Q&A. So let me just kind of go to either this slide or that slide, whichever, yeah, is more relevant. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Andrew. And if you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand and I'll bring you the mic.
Hello, Andrew. My interest here will be, how do you measure the quality of the video that you are delivering? For instance, for the experience of the user. I know for the ads, you're gonna probably see how many prints, what's the viewability, the CTR. How you manage the quality of the whole block of ads delivered to your clients. I don't know if you get the
yeah, I think I understand
the
your question.
Experience of the user.
Yeah. There's actually two factors to this. The first one is under Campaign Manager, we have a creative review and transcoding. So by the creative review, what we mean is because right now what we're covering is mostly linear TV content, we want to make sure that whatever ads that appear on those channel streams are safe, not only for the channel, but also for the service provider itself. So we have a creative review part where it's done either by the channel provider or the service provider, and they check the content of the ads to see if it's fit for their service. So that's the first level of kind of blocking out the bad content. And then we obviously do the transcoding so that it fits whatever stream. So if it needs to be in full HD, it's in full HD. If it needs to be in HD, it's in HD. And we also automate, the sequence of the ads, the order of the ads, based on the completion rates and other types of data that's relevant to make sure, because again, a long ad break, we want to make sure they watch as many ads as possible. So it doesn't make sense if we have like an ad that has a completion rate of 70% in the first slot. So the first slot would definitely be those types of ads that have higher completion rates, and then it would kind of gradually drop. Yeah.
How do you just measure in general?
What do you mean?
Measurement.
So we do the impression counting and the complete views as well. So again, because we have the client-side SDK, from the client side, we can actually accurately measure even the quartiles as well. So I think that's a little too much data for TV advertising. So we're actually using the impressions and complete views mainly. And based on that, we can actually also drill down to which channels get the most impressions, what types of content they're watching and all that. And we know, for example, if an audience segment, a specific audience segment is watching this type of ad more frequently or not. Yeah.
Can I ask another?
Yeah. I don't mind. I guess.
How do you buy it if you're an advertiser? Entirely programmatic or?
No. So right now we're actually offering many options. One being direct IOs. So if, for example, you're a service provider, you can still manage your direct connections with advertisers and agencies, and you can create the campaigns directly on our campaign manager, which is listed right there. And basically, so you can manage the direct IOs that way. So if you already have existing relationships with advertisers and agencies, I'm pretty sure that's basically going to be at least 70, 80% of the revenue source you're getting. And then the 20, 30% remnant inventory you can sell through the programmatic channels. Yeah. So entirely up to you. Yeah.
Excellent questions. Other questions for Andrew? Okay.
Anything is fine.
For live news and sports, do you guys have the ability to come back early from break, or how does that work in your stack?
So that would actually depend also on the type of campaign that you're running, because some of the advertisers might not be happy that their ads are being cut short. So as long as they're aware of that, it's okay. Yeah. So we actually do insertion on live sports as well. We're currently working with beIN Sports, as well as some of the sports channels in Korea, where they're actually doing insertions on baseball, soccer, and all that. And we actually do that where the advertisers already know that their ads might be cut short because of the nature of live sports, and they're okay with it. That's why they buy it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, this is actually a follow-up of a measurement question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, how do you cope with the, linear media planning guys when you are intervening, all media plans by just splitting the audiences? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
how do you cope with linear audience measurement metrics like reach and frequency on the system? We are talking about impressions or something like that, but when it comes to the linear measurement, all it's about reach, frequency, all that stuff.
So we actually also do measurements for reach and frequency as well. And unfortunately, our measurements are more accurate. So we try to provide that data to the media planning guys as well to make sure that they understand that what we're doing is actual addressable TV, where we're not using sampling data. It's actual real data that's coming from each client that's connected. So they actually prefer our data set instead of what they're normally used to because, again, it's not sampling. We actually provide the actual data for each campaign, actually. So depending on the advertiser and agency, they would actually look for this more in some cases, yes.
Excellent questions. Other questions from the group?
Oh, I think in the back? Yeah.
Wanted to ask you, how rich is the data that you have? How many different types of data points and what type of qualitative data points can you provide?
So I would have to say that depends on the number of channels and the type of content that is played on linear TV. So just to give you the example of Korea, South Korea, we're covering 2 major IPTV service providers. That covers around 11 million households. That totals up to, I think, around 32 million people. And the number of channels we actually advertise on would be around 110. But we actually gather data from the TV viewing for all 350 channels. And because of that, we know, for example, what types of content they're watching. But again, we wouldn't know, the individual to it because it's a household device, right? So we know what types of content each household is watching. And based on that, we can categorize whether they're interested in sports and even what types of sports and what types of teams they actually root for and other more detailed things as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Anybody else have a question for Andrew? Plenty of time. Okay.
Hi. Is there a way to replace only one ad in the pod, or not all the pods, but just one ad?
That would depend on the length of the Scotty marker. So if the Scotty marker given to us is, let's say 30 seconds, then we will only fill 30 seconds. But if they give us, a 12-minute ad break, we'll fill the whole 12 minutes. Yeah.
Can I ask? Yeah. What kind of SCT certified markups are compliant with?
Scotty 35 is fine. We also do DTMF QTones as well. Yeah.
I'm talking about time signal or splice insert.
Yeah, splice insert. Yeah. Time signal is also fine, but we prefer splice insert.
Thank you so much, folks. Other questions? Okay, excellent. Can we get a big round of applause for Andrew? Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.